She acts distant, but something in her eyes betrays her. If you've ever felt that confusing pull, like she's close and far at the same time, this is for you. There's a moment in every connection where logic says, she's not interested, but your intuition whispers, look closer. Most men miss it. Most women never admit it. And that silent space in between, that's where real feelings begin to grow. When a woman is falling for you but hiding it, she doesn't announce it, she protects it. The first sign is subtle. She remembers the smallest details about you. Not the big, obvious things, but the tiny ones. Your favorite late-night snack. The story about your childhood dog. That random goal you mentioned once at 2 a.m., she stores it, quietly. Because when someone matters emotionally, the brain prioritizes their data. She might pretend she forgot, but she didn't. The second sign hides in her reactions. Watch how she responds to your attention. If she didn't care, your silence wouldn't affect her. But if she's falling, your delayed reply changes her mood. Your compliments linger longer than she admits. She might act unbothered, yet her emotional rhythm starts syncing with yours. And here's the third sign most people misunderstand. She teases you more. Playful challenges, light sarcasm, a little push-pull energy. When feelings grow, vulnerability feels risky. So instead of soft confessions, she wraps interest in humor. It's safer to joke than to reveal. There's something deeper happening psychologically. Attraction activates both desire and fear. Desire pulls her closer. Fear whispers, don't get hurt. So she manages her emotions carefully. She won't give you everything at once. She tests the waters. She studies your consistency. You might notice she asks indirect questions about your future, not, do you want a relationship with me? That's too exposed. Instead, she asks what you think about commitment, about loyalty, about where you see yourself in a few years. She's mapping whether you're safe for her heart. And here's what most men misread. When she sometimes pulls back after a great moment, that isn't always loss of interest. Sometimes it's emotional regulation. When feelings rise too fast, she steps back to regain control. She doesn't want to feel out of balance. You have to understand something about female psychology. Emotional safety comes before emotional surrender. If she senses unpredictability, she'll hide deeper. If she senses steadiness, she'll slowly reveal. Another quiet sign? Her body language softens around you when she forgets to guard herself. Her shoulders relax. Her voice lowers slightly. Eye contact lasts a second longer than necessary. Those micro moments are honest. The mind can pretend. The body struggles to. And maybe the most powerful sign of all, she invests time. Not because she's bored, not because she has options, but because somewhere inside she's deciding whether you're worth risking her emotional walls. She may not say she's falling, but her behavior tells a different story. And if you're paying attention, you'll see it. Here's the truth most people never tell you. When a woman is falling but hiding it, she watches more than she speaks. She studies how you treat waiters, how you react when plans change, how you handle stress. Not because she's judging you harshly, but because her heart is deciding if you're emotionally safe. Attraction might start with chemistry, but attachment grows from observation. One powerful sign she's developing feelings is emotional mirroring. Pay attention to how often her tone, pace, or even posture subtly matches yours. When someone feels connected, the nervous system begins to sync. She may not even realize she's doing it. It's subconscious alignment. It's the body saying, I feel comfortable here. Another hidden signal? She creates reasons to stay in contact. The message that could have waited, but didn't. The random meme that reminded her of you. The small update about her day that wasn't necessary. Yet she chose to share it with you. When a woman includes you in her daily rhythm, even in small ways, you're not just an option. You're becoming part of her emotional routine. But here's where men often misinterpret things. If she's truly falling but afraid, she might occasionally downplay her availability. She won't always respond instantly. She may even appear a little detached at times. Why? Because vulnerability feels like exposure. And exposure feels dangerous when emotions are growing. This is emotional self-protection, not indifference. Watch how she reacts when other women are mentioned. Not dramatic jealousy, not accusations, but subtle shifts. A curious question, a slight change in tone, a playful comment masking something deeper. When she cares, your romantic options matter to her more than she'll ever openly admit. There's also a shift in how she presents herself around you. It's not about appearance alone, it's energy. She becomes more intentional. Maybe she adjusts her outfit slightly before seeing you. Maybe she fixes her hair without thinking. These aren't performances, they're subconscious signals of wanting to be seen in your best light. And then there's the silence. When she's falling quietly, she listens more closely. She lets you speak. She asks follow-up questions. She wants to understand your fears, your past, your ambitions. Emotional investment always reveals itself through curiosity. If she didn't care, she wouldn't dig deeper. But here's the deeper psychology most people miss. When feelings grow, a woman imagines scenarios, not wedding bells, not fantasy, but subtle what-if moments. What if we traveled together? What if he met my friends? What if this actually became something real? These thoughts don't appear without emotional roots. She may also test your reliability in small ways. Nothing dramatic, a minor request, a planned suggestion, a moment where she waits to see if your words match your actions. Consistency builds trust, and trust lowers emotional walls. And here's something powerful. When she begins sharing parts of her past that she doesn't casually tell others. Stories about heartbreak, about family struggles, about insecurities. That's not small talk, that's emotional access. You don't get access without impact. The truth is, when a woman hides her feelings, she isn't playing games. She's measuring risk. She's balancing hope with caution. She wants to feel, but she also wants to protect herself. So if you sense mixed signals, don't just look at her words. Look at her investment. Look at her patterns. Look at where she places her energy. Because feelings don't hide perfectly. They leak through behavior. Let me tell you something most men never realize until it's too late. When a woman is falling for you in silence, her internal battle is louder than anything she says out loud. On the outside, she may seem composed, balanced, even slightly mysterious. But inside, there's tension, hope mixed with hesitation, desire wrestling with dignity. One of the clearest signs she's falling but hiding it is emotional sensitivity to your approval. She might brush off compliments casually, but later she replays them in her mind. She notices when you praise her intelligence, her humor, her strength, and if you go quiet after being warm, she feels it more than she lets on. Why? Because once feelings begin forming, validation from you starts carrying weight. Another sign is how she responds to your vulnerability. When you open up about a fear, a mistake, or a goal you're unsure about, watch her eyes. Watch her energy. If she's emotionally invested, she leans in. She softens. She reassures you in subtle ways. She wants you to feel strong, but also safe enough to be human. That's not casual interest. That's care trying to grow. Now here's where it gets deeper. If she's falling but afraid, she may occasionally challenge you, not to push you away, but to see if you're grounded. She might question your consistency. She might pull back slightly after an intense emotional moment. She's checking if you panic or if you stay steady. Emotional maturity is incredibly attractive to a woman who's guarding her heart. There's also a shift in priority. If she rearranges her schedule for you, even subtly, that's not random. Time is currency. And when someone begins investing it consistently, it means they see value. She may say she's just free anyway, but pay attention to patterns. Patterns never lie. Another quiet indicator is how she integrates you into her world. Maybe she references you in conversations with friends. Maybe she invites you into spaces she doesn't open to everyone. That's emotional inclusion. It's her subconscious testing what it feels like to have you there long term. And here's something most people overlook: when she starts caring about your growth, if she encourages your ambitions, if she supports your discipline, if she pushes you gently to level up, that's not control, that's emotional alignment. When a woman sees potential partnership, she doesn't just admire who you are, she becomes invested in who you're becoming. But the strongest sign of hidden feelings? She reacts differently to distance. If you pull away slightly, not to manipulate, but naturally, and she increases effort, that's telling. If she checks in, if she initiates, if she finds reasons to reconnect. Indifference doesn't chase, emotion does. Yet she still won't confess, because confession means risk, and risk means the possibility of rejection. So instead, she shows you in fragments, in glances, in consistency, in small sacrifices, in protective teasing, in careful emotional exposure. Understand this clearly. When a woman hides her feelings, she isn't confused, she's cautious. She wants certainty before she surrenders. Your job isn't to force clarity, your job is to notice effort. Because when you recognize hidden affection without demanding it, you create the safety that allows it to unfold naturally. And that's where real connection begins. Now listen carefully, because this is where most connections either deepen or disappear. When a woman is falling for you but hiding it, she is silently asking one question over and over again: is it safe to let go? Not safe physically, safe emotionally. You see, attraction can happen fast, but trust moves slowly. And when her feelings start becoming real, she doesn't need grand gestures. She needs emotional consistency. She needs to see that your attention isn't temporary, that your interest isn't ego-driven, that your presence isn't seasonal. One of the final signs she's truly falling, even if she won't say it, is emotional exclusivity. She begins comparing other men to you, and they don't measure up. Not because you're perfect, but because emotional familiarity builds attachment. Your jokes hit differently. Your voice feels grounding. Your presence starts feeling like home. And when someone feels like home, the heart pays attention. You may notice she becomes slightly protective of the connection. Not possessive, not dramatic, but intentional. She doesn't want misunderstandings. She clarifies small things. She values harmony, because when feelings are real, the idea of losing the bond feels heavier than her pride. Another powerful signal, she lets you see her unfiltered moments, not the polished version, not the curated personality, the tired version, the stressed version, the quiet version. When a woman feels something deeper, she slowly drops performance. She wants to know if you accept her without the mask. That's vulnerability at its rawest form. And here's the truth most men overlook. When she's falling but hiding it, she watches how you handle power. If she gives slightly more effort, do you take it for granted? If she shows softness, do you become careless? If she reveals insecurity, do you protect it or expose it? The way you respond determines whether her hidden feelings grow or retreat. Psychologically, women bond through emotional experience, shared laughter, shared tension, shared honesty. When those moments stack consistently, attachment strengthens quietly. She might never announce, "I'm falling for you," but she'll show up, again and again. However, if she senses instability, mixed signals, or emotional immaturity, she won't fight for clarity. She'll protect her dignity. And once a woman decides to emotionally withdraw, it becomes very difficult to re-enter her inner world. So understand this deeply. Hidden feelings are fragile. They require awareness, patience, leadership, not pressure. If you sense she's falling but afraid, don't interrogate her emotions. Don't demand labels. Show steadiness. Show direction. Show that your words align with your actions. Emotional safety is earned through repetition. And when she finally feels safe enough, the walls won't crash dramatically. They'll dissolve, slowly, naturally, intentionally. Because real love rarely begins with loud confessions. It begins with quiet consistency. Now I want to ask you something personal. Have you ever realized too late that she was falling for you, but you misread the signs? Tell me in the comments what sign you've noticed before, or which one surprised you the most. If this opened your eyes, like the video, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to understand what silent feelings really look like.